Coming to you live from the MediaPlex in downtown Windsor, this is a presentation of St. Clair College Journalism.
It's Friday morning, so you know what that means. It's time for Friday Live. Good morning, everybody. I'm your host, Albert Sharp, bringing you the inside scoop on today's latest news. And in our first story of the day, a Windsor man has been sentenced to nearly 6 years in United States federal prison. 49-year-old Glenn Musso had been caught using submarines to smuggle drugs and cash across the Detroit River. Musso has pled guilty to illegally entering the U.S. as well as drug trafficking.
Windsor man, Windsor man.
Speaking of money, Cade Ryan is here to tell us how CERB and EI benefits will affect taxpayers.
Tax season will be different this year due to COVID-19. With over $81 billion collected on CERB and EI from March 15th to October 3rd, 2020, many people will owe money on their tax returns. Norm Levesque, a tax strategist with The Tax Expert, explains.
Those who received CERB that were on an employment income that was in lower to middle bracket, they're all going to have to pay taxes.
Tax experts recommend people file their returns as soon as possible. For MediaPlex News, I'm Cade Ryan.
And you know, when I'm thinking about taxes, one of the big ones that constantly comes to mind is property tax. And when property tax comes to real estate, and in real estate, they say the big thing is location, location, location. And as you went out to explain to us, locations are in abundance in Windsor.
If you thought the world is empty these days, just look at the string of vacant buildings in South Walkerville. These buildings align to Tecumseh Road East, leaving local business owners to look at them every day. Owner of the butcher shop at Schwab's and Primo's, Brad March, said that it is depressing staring at all the buildings.
Yeah, it's really disappointing. We've had a lot of good clientele in the neighborhood, and to see them leave is really disappointing. As
of currently, there are no plans for a South Walkerville BIA or for those boarded up structures. For MediaPlex Radio, I am Zachary Ballog.
Now, Zach, I'll be honest, this past week has had some pretty good weather. Can you promise any more of the same?
I certainly hope so. As you can see, well, we made it to the weekend, folks, and boy, do I have some really good weather in store for you, so let's take a look at the next 3 days. Saturday, it will be mainly sunny and a high of 2. Sunday, sunny and a high of 3. And on Monday, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Sunny and a high of 17. That's the weather for the weekend. Stay tuned a little later because I got Karen, Florida Man, and Cheater's Revenge on Weird News, and that is coming up at the bottom of the show.
It's Friday morning and we are live. Today we're bringing you the latest in students, streaming, and strangeness. But first, let's have a chat. You know, Zach, we're coming up on midterms, and it is crazy to think that our last semester of the journalism program is almost over.
Oh my God, absolutely. I mean, can you believe it? Doesn't it just seem like yesterday we were watching Shattered Glass?
Absolutely insane. Or our first Friday Live.
Oh my God, that was going way back.
I was scared of this microphone back then.
Me too. Well, I can't really remember what I was scared of back then, but I mean, I've done the weird news.
Speaking of weird news, that's the only thing I'm still afraid of in this booth.
Oh boy, don't worry, because I got a lot more coming.
Oh no.
Oh yes.
But I have to admit, going to school here at the MediaPlex has been a wild experience. The amount of equipment they've trusted us with is insane.
And I mean, yeah, and we even have a person who helps us with all this, Larry. Without him, this place would fall apart.
We would fall apart without Larry, to be completely honest.
Absolutely.
But another thing the MediaPlex would fall apart without is our friends in the community, like Constable Tim Harrington from Crime Stoppers. He's here with his weekly report.
With the warmer weather, police are once again starting to see a rise in thefts from vehicles. We'd like to take this opportunity to warn residents to lock it or lose it and give you a few tips on how to avoid being a victim of crime. Lock your car doors and roll up the windows. Don't leave your car unattended, and never leave money or valuables in plain sight. If you have a garage, use it or park in a well-lit area. Remove your garage door openers. Additionally, if you see suspicious activity in your neighborhood, call the police immediately. If you have any information regarding this sort of activity and you wish to remain anonymous, call Crime Stoppers at 519-258-TIPS or online at catchcrooks.com. I am Police Coordinator Tim Harrington.
And while crime always puts a bad look on my face, one thing I've been happy to see is things opening up nice and gradually, nice and smoothly. And with things beginning to open back up, that would include the library at St. Clair College. Jessica Tatton reports.
Reading is good for your brain, but when you can't get together with friends and discuss that favorite character's death, you're left unsatisfied. Due to COVID-19, the St. Clair College Library has been closed to in-person use since March 17, 2020. Melissa Forget, a library technician at the St. Clair College Library, said this closing affects face-to-face student interaction the most.
It's a bit harder to facilitate that instant connection right away.
Students have been forced to learn individually, which can be difficult for some who thrive in group settings. Luckily, the library provides an alternative means for students looking for references and books that they cannot get in person.
We have also started something called Lib Guides, or as you guys viewed on the website, it's reference guides. So we have tailored all this information from all of our databases into like one that is specific for your program. So if you're a nursing student, you're going to go into the research guides and you're going to find the nursing one, and we'll have everything that you particularly need for your course.
The library looks forward to continuing their communication with students and broadening their use of social media and online means to help students more efficiently.
We are available online, like just any students, if you want to reach out to us, just email out library@stclaircollege.ca. You can give us a call, and we're here to help.
With MediaPlex News, I'm Jessica Tatton.
One of the things I'll say as a reader is I am disappointed in myself that I have not accessed the school's library once since I've started here.
What's a library?
But you know, it's probably a lot easier for students now that more of it's moving towards online and being virtual. It's just more accessible for us here downtown.
Absolutely. I mean, like, just go online. You can find what you need there.
Speaking of things going virtual, St. Clair College will also be going virtual with their Student Representative Council elections. Jivan Arora has the story.
This year, St. Clair College Student Representative Council election campaign is virtual. St. Clair College prohibited in-person campaigns. Christian Seguin is the Vice President of Student Affairs at Student Representative Council.
Unfortunately, we're not allowed to campaign on campus this year, as you said. It is even a rule this year that posters and campaigning on campus is forbidden for this year. So everything that we can do for campaigning is all becoming virtually, and it is all run through the SRC.
Candidates are campaigning through their social media, and their videos are posted on SRC's YouTube channel. SRC election will begin on March 1 on Blackboard. For MediaPlex News, I am Jivan Arora.
You know, while I'm not going to endorse any particular candidate right now, one of the things I really appreciate in some of those videos are when people talk about raising the focus on the downtown campus and the MediaPlex.
Yeah, I mean, that's what's more appealing to us. I mean, like, I don't care what you're going to do at the other campuses.
I mean, even just, Zach, be honest with me. In your time with the MediaPlex, how many times have you gone to main campus?
How many times have I gone to main campus? A still, like, good bunch before the pandemic hit.
For me, it has been exactly 3 times. Once to get my student card, once to get my books, and once because I was doing a story.
Wow. I mean, I had friends down at the main campus, so I'd drop by any chance I got.
Imagine having friends.
Hey.
But, you know, the experiences at St. Clair College, you've got to wonder what it's like at St. Clair College for an international student. Siddharth Krishna tells us more.
St. Clair College is reputed for its large body of international students. In fact, over 3,500 international students are expected to join in this academic year. But how is the experience of an international student studying in this pandemic season? Karan Bakshi, an Indian student of business, shed some light on this.
So after landing in Canada, the experience was very unique. I was asked to quarantine for 14 days, and wearing the mask all the time was very hard for everyone. Like, it was creating a little bit of breathing problem and all after. And the other thing was online learning, which is really very different. Like, we are not habitual with online learning, but the teachers were very helpful.
There's no doubt that the college has had to adopt some rather unconventional methods to learning during these uncertain times. However, that hasn't stopped students from choosing St. Clair College. For MediaPlex News, I'm Siddharth Krishna.
You know, one of the things that I have been constantly wondering is what March break's going to feel like with school classes being online.
I mean, what March break's going to be like? Kids are going to be bugging their parents.
I mean, I wake up, I sit down at my computer, and I'm ready for class. What's now? I'm going to wake up, I'm going to sit down at my computer, and I'm going to watch Disney+.
I don't know. I have a few things that I might try to do over the March break.
I mean, obviously, there's a little more that we're going to do, but it's interesting because normally right now, students be getting ready for March break with camps and plans and vacations. But as Kayla Tarnowski will tell us, things are a little different this year.
At the beginning of the month, Ontario's Education Minister Stephen Lecce surprised the province by postponing March break to the week of April 12th. This will force students to change their plans. Samantha Bondi is a 17-year-old Villanova High School student, and she knows some people who are unhappy with this change.
They were like, oh, this changes a lot of things. So it was a lot of mixed emotions, but I think everyone now is okay with it.
Before Lecce announced the change, school boards and teachers across Ontario urged the government to keep the break the same. I'm Kayla Tarnowski, reporting for MediaPlex News Radio.
You know, one of the cardinal sins that I am absolutely guilty of is despite the fact it has been moved till April for most students, I am still calling it March break when I'm talking about the kids who will be having their break in April.
But I mean, what would it be called anyway?
Spring break.
Spring break.
Woo. Zach, this is a PG show, Zach.
Okay.
But normally during March break, you got things like sports camps. I mean, I assume, obviously, I'm not a sports guy.
Me neither. Despite that, I actually look like somebody who could be good at basketball.
It's the height, man. It's the height.
It's the height. It's the beautiful height.
Mad dunks. But with COVID stay-at-home orders, youth sports have taken a massive toll. Tyler Clapp explains.
With many youth sports canceled due to COVID-19, young people are being impacted by it in many ways. Riverside Minor Baseball President Tom Laporte said some consequences include lost social skills.
Children, especially at the ages that we have from 8 to 15 or so, they learn so much about interaction with people, and not having that interaction is going to really leave a hole in their development.
Some organizations are doing their best to combat this, like Canadian Tire donating $12 million at the tail end of last year to youth sports organizations. For MediaPlex News, I'm Tyler Clapp.
And those social skills are so important for a child's mental health.
Oh yeah. I mean, going out, having friends, it is important.
I know one of the things that's been really great about having at least one day a week that I'm in here at the MediaPlex is just seeing other people these days is just a breath of fresh air and mentally helps me just refresh.
I mean, especially once you've been stuck with the same people for about a year, it is refreshing.
It is absolutely insane the impact on people's mental health this pandemic has had. In fact, we have a little story on that from Isabella Spadafora.
Students who finished their last year of high school online said the pandemic is continuing to affect their mental health. Emma Crooker is an 18-year-old University of Windsor student.
I would say I definitely have more social anxiety now because I'm not used to being around people anymore.
Experts say without a properly structured school setting, students can experience a disruption in routine, boredom, and lack of creative ideas. Art Barron, Director of Student Services at St. Clair College, says they offer services to those who need it. Visit the St. Clair College Student Services website for more information. From MediaPlex News Radio, I'm Isabella Spadafora.
That impact on creativity is massive. I know sometimes I sit there and I just feel drained trying to write a script because I have not been outside in days.
You gotta get outside, Albert.
I absolutely do, but fortunately, things are slowly starting to open up, and despite COVID, the arts in Windsor are alive and well to boost that creativity. So I went out to bring you this story. The stage is set for a new play by Windsor Feminist Theatre. Letters to Grace is based on the book Amazing Grace by Marty Gervais. The show is a series of monologues covering letters from nurses to Grace Hospital during World War II. According to actress Kiana Porter, this show gives a unique perspective on nurses during the period.
Well, this one is a wonderful story. And because it's a true story, I feel like it's kind of a little bit more heartfelt just because you get to actually see what these nurses went through and you get to learn about the tight-knit community.
The show is opening on March 24th at Water's Edge Event Center on Riverside Drive. For MediaPlex News, I'm Albert Sharp. Zach, have you ever seen the Water's Edge Event Center?
No, I haven't.
It is an absolutely gorgeous building. It's got these great stairs. I know I was there shooting some footage. It was insane.
I mean, look, where is it?
It's over on Riverside Drive. I believe it's a 29 block, if I remember. It's just right facing the river. Absolutely gorgeous.
I'll have to check that out.
Absolutely. But from the stage to the screen, how has the pandemic impacted the film industry and its artist? Gracie Lowe tells us more.
Many actors feel there are hardships that the pandemic has brought to them and their workplace. The film industry has grown each year since it started, but that was all slowed down when COVID-19 hit and everyone went into quarantine. Michelle Allen is a 30-year-old South African actress.
It's gone a lot more online, so self-tapes and online submissions. Only now they're starting to do more in-person stuff, which is amazing because, you know, as an interactive person, you want to be able to ask questions and feel the room. And
although many jobs have been lost and workers have faced struggles, the film industry has continued to overcome challenges. They used them to grow and adapt to the new normal of the industry during COVID. For MediaPlex News, I'm Gracie Lowe.
One of the craziest things to think about regarding the film industry is just how many movies have been pushed back over an entire year at this point.
Yeah, and I mean, like, I haven't seen a movie in, like, what, a few years?
Honestly, I've gotten so used to watching anything on a streaming service or on my couch. When I'm finally able to go back into a theater and have it just be normal again, it's going to be so weird.
It's like, who are all these people?
Who are all these people and why is the screen so big? But, you know, not only has COVID impacted what we see on the big screen, it's also changed what we watch on our own screens. And Tristan Zuderveen reports.
That the Among Us people are just the bottom half of the Teletubbies.
All right, vote Brian out.
Since the COVID-19 pandemic first began, social interactions have become more and more digital. What used to be a day trip to the mall with friends has become a Discord call in multiplayer games. The rise in internet activity has paved the way for the rise in popularity of streamers. Andrew Gorkin, also known as Twitch streamer Gorkinzola, seeks to comfort and be comforted through live gaming sessions.
I was watching a streamer and he just made me feel a lot better. And I was like, you know, this is something I want to be able to do for other people when they're, you know, down in the dumps. I have been using Discord more since the pandemic began. It's definitely probably the easiest way to keep my community in one place.
For MediaPlex News, I'm Tristan Zuderveen, logging off.
You know, streaming is an absolute art. The amount of work people put into things like their Twitch streams is insane.
I know, I don't watch streams that much, so...
Well, I'll tell you, it is absolutely nuts. Some of the charity events that are launched just entirely from people sitting in their bedrooms playing video games or talking about movies or just running little podcasts. It is nuts.
It's wild what you can do with technology these days.
I mean, look at Friday Live.
Exactly. Oh, yeah, we do stream.
Yeah, we stream right now. We are actually live right now, Zach. What do you mean you don't know anything about streaming?
No comment.
Hello, Internet. But, you know, with arts going online, a local artist has taken to the internet to encourage others to be creative. Caleb Coulter has the story.
A student from Amherstburg is finding a creative way to pass the time during lockdown. DJ Reno is a 19-year-old digital artist who is working hard to build up an online community. With over 76 posts on his art page, he's attracted attention from fans and other digital artists. His goal with his page is to encourage those who have never tried to create art to give it a shot. And so far, he's had some success.
I have grown a little bit of a community, and I actually have had people from other communities on, say, like from online communities. I'm on Discords and stuff, of people actually messaging me and asking me where they can find my work and stuff. And some people actually saying that they liked my work so much they want to study it themselves.
According to an article by Medical News Today, art can help improve mental health, decrease stress, and help with learning and memorization. Reno's page, Art of Chef, can be found on Instagram. He also streams on Twitch under the same name. He hopes that people will be inspired by his art and get creative and express themselves during this pandemic. From MediaPlex News Radio, I'm Caleb Coulter.
You know, every time I'm in this booth, all I can think about is how much I miss when we had the whole team here last year.
I mean, it was the gang.
It was the gang. We were here every Friday morning. We had Christian, we had Tristan, we had Savannah. We had this rotating group of people who just had all these great things going. And I really hope for next year, things are back to normal so the people who are here after us can have that experience.
I can't wait to see who's going to be doing this after us.
I don't know if anyone's going to do weird news like you did.
And that's the standard.
I am in absolute constant fear of everything you have going on there. But of course, then there's things like impulse. I never knew what Tristan was talking about, ever. But we keep letting her back on anyway, so let's see what she got this week.
Welcome to Impulse, the show with no description because the topics are whatever comes to mind. I'm Tristan Zuderveen. The Twitter algorithm is responsible for determining what is trending, but providing descriptions for those trends is a human endeavor. A curation team is in charge of tracking trends and providing context where it is needed. And oh, how it can be needed. Fans and followers of Minecraft streamers and content creators are all familiar with Twitter Description Guy, the unfortunate employer tasked with the burden of trying to explain bizarre trends. His plight is a staple of the Minecraft YouTuber community, especially in relation to the creators associated with a specific survival multiplayer server created less than a year ago. The Dream SMP hosts a wide variety of creators, from international influencers such as Tommy Innit, Fundy Live, and Quackity HQ, to record-winning players such as Filza, Technoblade, and Dream himself. Such an eclectic list of members breeds quite the sense of humor, giving Twitter Description Guy a run for his money. On November 10th, 2020, Nick Wilde was #1 on trending. Twitter Description Guy providing a basic general description. Fans of multiple Minecraft YouTubers and streamers have sparked a heated debate about whether Nick Wilde, the animated fox from Disney's Zootopia, is attractive or not. On February 7th, 2021, Twitter Description Guy's sanity was put to the test in order to provide the description for the topic Tom Gravy. Content creators Dream and Quackity give British YouTuber George Not Found a rundown on American sports during his latest stream, somewhere along the line creating a parody version of Super Bowl MVP Tom Brady named Tom Gravy, who is a competitive hot dog eater. February 14th, 2021, politics was overtaken by a single live stream from Carl Jacobs, with important topics such as John John, William Williamson, and among them, Ron Ronson, for which the description read, Tales from the SMP, the Wild West introduce a new character, Ron Ronson, the son of Ron Ronson, but better known as Michael, a delivery person who tragically lost his wife to bandits. Some of Twitter Description Guy's best work yet. The members of the SMP alone have created hundreds more trends. Sam Nook, Great Shot, All Men Do Is Lie, Guys Please, Wilbur in a Bath, and Save the Bananas, to name a few. The SMP members themselves are constantly trending, needing a different description for the reason every time. Many fans have taken to tweeting out periodic apologies to the Twitter Description Guy, even starting a trend in his honor with Thank You Twitter Description Guy in early January. What started as a simple internet meme has become the nexus between the Minecraft community and the rest of the world, bringing context to the nonsense that reaches the trending page. Tune in next week for more stuff you didn't need to know.
You know, for once, I actually know what she's talking about.
I mean, can I go by the name Ron Ronson now?
Ron Ronson, son of Ron Ronson, commonly known as Michael.
Commonly known as Michael.
No, but it's actually insane how fast these guys get things to #1 trending in entire countries. It takes seconds.
They make it look easy.
No, seriously, they will be looking at their stream and they'll say, hey, stream, can you get this phrase trending? And it just happens.
Wow, power of
internet. It is
internet.
the power of having hundreds of thousands of people who have been locked in their homes and don't have anywhere to go. So when someone says, hey, can you make this trend? This is a game now. This is something exciting in the boring world of lockdown.
We should try this.
I don't know if we have quite the audience, but we could give it a shot. Hey, anyone who's watching, if you could just tweet out, Zach's thumb is weird. I don't know.
Please do.
This is what you get for putting me on the spot, Zach. Your thumb is weird.
My thumb is it's not that bad.
You know what? Thumbs are thumbs. I don't know why we're talking about thumbs, because the world is full of things that are much weirder and much wilder. So who else to tell us what to expect from it than our resident weirdo himself, Zach?
Well, now I gotta follow Tristan. Hey everybody, it's been a long week, so let's sit back and relax with the weirdest news found on the internet. Albert, have you ever heard of Karen?
Yes, I have.
A woman went on a full-blown rant in the middle of a grocery store, and her name was Karen. According to the Daily News, after being told she had to mask up inside a grocery store to protect employees and fellow shoppers during the pandemic, Karen Turner ranted that there is no federal law requiring her to cover her mouth and nose. When she refused to comply with the store's mask mandate, She refused, and police were called, and Turner was arrested for trespassing and resisting arrest. Wait until she's told she has to mask up inside the police station.
It's insane, because a lot of these guidelines are not new. They've been around for almost a year.
Stores can't enforce a mask.
There are stores that can enforce that you have to wear closed-toed shoes. I think a mask is a lot easier to enforce.
It's not like it's that much to ask for, really. But let's travel to a place where grocery store ranting is all the rage. It's time for...
Florida man, does whatever a Florida man can. Look out, here comes the Florida man.
If you're single like me, you would do anything for love. If you are a Florida man, you would flirt with the judge. According to Daily News, an accused burglar tried to virtually flirt with the judge while she heard his case Thursday in Broward County. The hilarious moment was captured by a live video stream. Judge Tabitha Blackman, joined by a prosecutor and defense attorney, called the defendant's case and watched as he stepped into the camera. The man, Demetrius Lewis, appeared from a county jail and greeted the young judge with a casual, "How you doing?" He was ordered to be held on $5,000 bond. I'd like to see him do this with Judge Judy.
Here's a pro tip from Albert Sharp, very mediocre flirting expert. If your pickup lines sound like something from Friends or are a line from Friends, you are bad at pickup lines.
I'm just bad at pickup lines all in general. That's why I'm lonely. Albert, you want to hear some savage revenge from a woman who has been cheated on?
Please tell me it's not from you.
I wish. Mirror reports a woman who claims to have discovered her boyfriend was cheating on her decided to teach him a lesson by redecorating his room with evidence. Why didn't she just dump him? It would have been less time consuming.
Honestly.
Well, TikTok user Love Truth thinks that her partner had told her she is crazy and paranoid for thinking he was being unfaithful until she found evidence that he had been cheating with not one, not two, but 3 lovely ladies. She printed off all the pages of messages and used it to make him some lovely new wallpaper. Savage.
If you can't commit, just leave. Don't waste anyone's time.
Exactly. Oh, and to the man in question, don't let the door hit you on the way out.
Please do, actually.
That is the weirdness for this week. Oh, dad joke of the week, because we're going to be doing this from now on.
Okay.
Why did the Invisible Man turn down the job offer?
Why?
Well, he couldn't see himself doing it. I'm Zachary Bellog, and you can't make this stuff up.
Oh, no, you can't.
Seriously, you can't.
And that is all for our show this week, everybody. Friday Lives is a student-run radio production here at St. Clair College that would not be possible without contributions from this week's team. Kate Ryan, Zachary Balog, Siddharth Krishna, Jivan Arora, Kayla Tarnowski, Tyler Clapp, Isabella Spadafora, Gracie Lowe's, Tristan Zuderveen, and Caleb Coulter. I've been your host, Albert Sharp. Have an excellent weekend, everybody.
That was easy.
Not sponsored by Staples.